How about that debate last night? Didn't Joe Biden, a fellow some people call the third senator from Pennsylvania, didn't he do a great job? Give a big round of applause. Scranton boy, done good. I was so proud of Joe. You know, America, I think, saw clearly why I felt he'd be such a great vice president, especially during these difficult, challenging times. So we are very, very proud of Joe. He is going to be outstanding. You know, there are a lot of noteworthy moments in that debate last night, but there's one that sticks out this morning. It's when Senator Palin said to Joe Biden, or Governor Palin said to Joe Biden, that our plan to get our economy out of the ditch was somehow a job-killing plan. This is what she said. I wonder if she turned on the news this morning, because it was just reported that America has experienced its 9th straight month of job loss. 9 straight months. Just since January, we've lost more than 750,000 jobs across America. 7,000 in Pennsylvania alone. This is the economy that John McCain said just 2 weeks ago was fundamentally strong. This is the economy that my opponent said made great progress under the policies of George W. Bush. And those are the economic policies that he proposes to continue another 4 years. So, when Senator McCain and his running mate talk about job killing, that's something they know a thing or two about. Because the policies they've supported and are supporting are killing jobs in America every single day. And Abington, I am here to tell you that we can't afford 4 more years of this. Enough is enough. We cannot afford 4 more years, because where I come from, and I think where you come from, there's nothing more fundamental than having the sense of purpose, the sense of meaning that comes with showing up at work in the morning. There's nothing more fundamental than being able to put your kids through college, or the pride of having supported your family and having health care when they get sick, and being able to retire with security. There is nothing more fundamental than a good paying job. And that's why we're here today, because we need to do what we did in the 1990s and create millions of new jobs and not lose them. We need to do what we did in the 1990s and make sure people's incomes are going up and not down. We need to do what a guy named Bill Clinton did in the 1990s and put people first again. And that's why I'm running for President of the United States of America, to create jobs all across Pennsylvania and all across America. I mean, the fact is, we've tried it their way, Pennsylvania. We've tried it their way, and it hasn't worked. It didn't work then, it won't work now. But let me tell you what will work. What will work is investing $15 billion a year over the next decade in renewable sources of energy, like wind and solar and biodiesel, reopening old steel plants like Governor Rendell has done to create wind turbines, opening old plants to make solar panels, working with farms to create the cellulosic ethanol that will fuel our cars in the future. An investment that will generate 5 million new jobs that pay well and can't ever be outsourced. And by the way, we can end our dependence on foreign oil in the process, and nothing will help our economy more than that. Nothing will help our national security more than that. Nothing will help deal with global warming more than that. And that's what we're going to do when I'm President of the United States. Let me tell you what else will work. Making an investment in rebuilding our crumbling roads and bridges and schools, laying broadband lines in rural communities so they have access to the internet, creating a new electricity grid so we can take the renewable energy that we are creating and get it to population centers. Governor Rendell, Bob Casey, they've been talking about this, but we haven't had leadership in the White House. We can create 2 million more jobs for Americans. We can put people who've been laid off from the construction industries right now, put them to work. And if people tell you we can't afford it, then you just remind them we are spending $10 billion a month in Iraq when they've got a $79 billion surplus. We can rebuild America on that money. We can rebuild America. My opponent supports giving tax breaks to companies that ship jobs overseas. But what will work is giving those tax breaks to companies that create jobs here at home. My opponent supports tax havens that let companies avoid paying taxes here in America. Tax havens that cost $100 billion every year. You know what will work? Shut down those tax havens. Close corporate loopholes. Use that money to get the middle class back on its feet. What will work is giving tax breaks to small businesses, right here in Abington. Small businesses that are the engine of economic growth in this country. And you know what else is going to work is cutting taxes. You hear me now because you're going to hear a bunch of nonsense on the television. Cutting taxes for 95% of all working families. 95%. Under my plan, tax rates will actually be less than they were under Ronald Reagan. We give 3 times the amount of tax relief that John McCain does to middle-class families. That's what will work. And that's the kind of change that Joe Biden and I are going to bring to Washington. Now, let me be clear. Let me be clear. The fact that our economy is in the mess that it is an outrage. It's an outrage because we didn't get here by accident. This was not a normal part of the business cycle. This did not happen because of a few bad apples. This financial crisis is a direct result of the greed and irresponsibility that has dominated Washington and Wall Street for years. It's the result of an economic philosophy that says we should give more and more to those with the most and hope that prosperity trickles down on everyone else. A philosophy that views even the most common sense regulations as unwise and unnecessary. Well, this crisis is nothing less than a final verdict on this failed philosophy. And it is a philosophy that I will end when I'm President of the United States of America. We're going to turn the page and go in a new direction. That's what this election's all about.